Today we're mining the Discogs community for some tidbits about one of the most influential, inventive, and commercially successful bands of all time. Because, those things weren't always mutually exclusive. Wanting to pay tribute to the American blues they loved so much in the mid-'60s, Roger Waters, Syd Barrett, Nick Mason, Richard Wright, and at the time Bob Close, combined the names of two old bluesmen to call themselves the Pink Floyd Sound. Now they quickly dropped the sound, and quickly found a little success in the late 60s before really turning rock and roll on its head while getting all psychedelic and proggy in the 70s. So with that in mind, here are the top 5 most collected Pink Floyd records in the Discogs community. Coming in at number 5 is the album that helped create the blueprint for the commercial and critical heights the band would reach. Released in 1971, just 3 years after enigmatic frontman Syd Barrett left the band, Metal saw Pink Floyd focusing on the textural compositions that would come to define their sound, with tracks like the epic 23-minute album closer Echoes. Oh yeah, and if you happen to have the blue version of Metal from Columbia, you should probably call an insurance agent. It's worth the price of a car, and not like an old Chevette or something. Next on the list is a record that's only quadruple platinum. And yeah, that would be a big deal for most bands, but not Pink Floyd. In 1977, de facto band leader Roger Waters took an even bigger role in writing and recording Animals, quite possibly the band's darkest and weirdest album. The bleak nature of Animals might scare some people off, but can also be one of the most rewarding listens in the right mood. One particularly rewarding way to listen is on 8-track, and not because it's superior quality, but because some versions have a solo from touring guitarist Snowy White spliced into Pigs on the Wing, and you can't hear it anywhere else. The equally nihilistic follow-up to Animals is next on the list. A more narrative-based concept album than previous works, 1979's The Wall happened to give the band its first and only bona fide smash hit single, Another Brick in the Wall Part 2. With over 250 million records sold, yeah, billion with the B, you'd think the band would have more than one hit song, but that speaks to the ethos and ingenuity of Pink Floyd. And in case buying one new car isn't enough, well, go check your parents' basement to see if they have the promo copy on orange vinyl. Ka-ching! For number 2 on the list, we're going back a few years to 1975 for the band's first album after becoming commercial sensations, Wish You Were Here. A not-so-veiled tribute to founding member Syd Barrett, the record displays a warmer and a more melodic tone than subsequent releases, and it might just be the album where guitarist David Gilmour shines the brightest. If you're looking to really get your head around the record, keep an eye out for the Nimbus Supercut remaster from 1984. Now, it might set you back $500, but it's worth it, right? Right? Coming in at number 1 on the list is, yeah, you guessed it, Dark Side of the Moon. Pink Floyd's 1973 breakthrough isn't just one of the biggest albums of all time. It spent a record-breaking 741 weeks in a row on the Billboard charts. For some perspective, the album entered the charts just below Elvis's Aloha Hawaii, and it didn't leave until the same year MC Hammer broke and Nirvana released their first recorded material. Talk about a seismic shift in music. And Dark Side of the Moon was there for all of it. And not only is it the most collected Pink Floyd record in the Discogs community, but it's the most collected record by any artist, with over 138,000 copies owned by 134,000 Discogs members. If you want to find out more about Pink Floyd and the ins and outs of their discography, you can visit Discogs.com to get the scoop on it. See you next time.